Do you have sound now? Now do you have sound? Do you have sound now? Oh my gosh, this is so crazy. Do you have sound now? Now do you have sound? You do. Do you have sound now? Oh my gosh, this is so crazy. Do you have sound now? Now do you have sound? You do. Okay, so I don't know what's going on at all. I don't even know, this is so weird because I'm on a severe delay because I'm not in Streamlabs, so I can't even, it won't let me log on with Streamlabs to YouTube. It's something with Streamlabs. It says they hit their API limit. I don't know what that is. And after midnight Pacific Standard Time, I'll be able to log into Streamlabs again. So now I'm with Zoom because Cab7 told me just go on with Zoom the other night. That's what I'm doing, but it's driving me crazy because I have a severe delay. And I just don't, I feel out of my complete element here. I don't even know how you share screens like this. There's a 20 delay in streaming from direct from Zoom. How about StreamYards? I don't know. I mean, I don't have it installed. Anyway, I don't know. We'll have to try. I can't even, this is so aggravating. Does anybody know anything about that? Anybody here a creator that knows what the API means, that Streamlabs hit their API? Anyone? I don't know. And I've got like 2 other lives that are up. I don't know what's going on. Hey, Captain Kitty. You're not delayed by much, 30 seconds. Yeah, but when you're looking at it, it's ridiculous. I thought something odd. Your live banner was black instead of red. Change is hard. Yeah, remember those, Ivy Lynn? Somebody get me off this crazy thing. Okay, I keep buffering. Oh, great. I'm fine on your end. Okay, so because you don't see the delay, I'm not gonna even, I can't look at anything. I'm just gonna, so it's gonna be looking like I'm staring off into space because I can't look in front of me because it drives me crazy. And I have to see the chat. So I just want to see something. If I wanted to share something with you, like a picture, I just want to see something. I don't know how I'm going to do that. Hold on. Let me just see if this works. Let me just say something. I'm just going to pick up a picture of Fotis Dulos. That's all I'm going to do. And just see if it works that I can share a picture or something. Okay, hang on 1 second. Now let me try this. Okay, now I'm going to try to go. Hang on. Back to Zoom and hit share. And then hit that. All right, now let me see. I'm going to go back to YouTube. Can you see anything yet? Well, it's going to be a delay. Oh, wait, you can, right? There you go. You can see a picture. It's small. Hold on. That's the biggest it will make it. That's so crazy. Okay. You can see it. Okay. All right. So we're just going to have to do this tonight. It's not going to be. So yeah, I think the same exact thing, Ladybug. Yeah. His family is coming tonight from Greece. Okay. So Norm Pattis gave this press conference this afternoon. And he said that Fotis is being treated, at Jacobi Medical Center, but he's in grim condition. They're hoping he'll have a full recovery. I'm tiny in the corner. You can see me tiny in the corner. Okay, hold on. Hold on. Okay. Otherwise, I can just, I don't know why I'm tiny in the corner. Let me see why don't put baby in the corner. Usually that, all right, there, now I'm not tiny. I won't be tiny in the corner in a minute. I'll just be a black line. You think he's going to live? I don't think so, Captain KD. I think he's going to, we're going to hear he expired tomorrow. I think they are waiting for his family to come from Greece. They were arriving last night, tonight, you know what I mean. If we haven't gone to bed, it's still the previous day, even though it's technically the next day. Oh, okay, Tico, we're all relaxed now. So what's the meaning of grime? What do you mean grime? Who said grime? So I think their family's going to sit with him for a while, and then I think they're probably going to see that he is brain dead and, grim condition. Oh, very bad, not good. You don't want to be in grim condition. It's just like a step above not existing. So I think what they're going to do is then they're going to pull the plug on him. Yeah, see, Kathy, I think so too. I think tomorrow we're going to hear if he is brain dead. Correct, Joyce. Sorry. Grim. I said grim. I didn't say grime. Somebody else said grime. I said grim. I know that. Somebody said, what do you mean by grime? That's when I said grime. Okay, so what happened is, yeah, that's what I think is going to happen. Now, the other thing is that, yeah, I've been thinking a lot about his children here. So the Fotis, yeah. And it's really a shame. If you go to Fotis's Facebook page, right, you see, the kids with him. He was a champion water skier. They were taking lessons. They were, at one time going all over the world together as a family. Then there was the divorce. Kids were dealing with that, trying to get through that. It was hard enough as it is. And then because of his actions, well, allegedly, he killed their mother. And in doing that, it didn't go the way he planned. And so then he takes his own life. And you have these kids that at one point of their lives had just about everything, right? Loving parents, money, all the advantages. And then their mother's taken from them. Now their father, they're living with their 85-year-old grandmother who, yes, she's very spry for her age, but she's 85 years old. Okay, so these kids are going to be faced with this abandonment and all of these issues that are going to affect them for the rest of their lives. It's horrific. They went from, what is like the ideal family to go to trying to get through this divorce. Then the mother's gone, and just in one moment, she's gone under horrific circumstances. They can't see their father anymore. Then he's gone. Then he's accused of doing the unthinkable to their mother. Then he's gone. And the children are young. I mean, the oldest, I think, are 12 or 13. So just horrible. They might even be younger than that. They might even be younger than that. They might even be younger than that. I think the youngest one, because they're very, very close in age. She had them late in life. I think they must have been IVF, and they're very, very close in age. So I think they're like 12 or 13 down to 9, or it's 12 down to 9. And there's 2 sets of twins. So, and I wonder, if they're going to, if he is dying, if she will, the grandmother, let them say goodbye to the father. Because I think if she doesn't give them the choice, the older ones especially, they may end up resenting her. Because he is their father. And if he wants it, if they want to say a last goodbye to their father, she should bring them to the hospital and let them do that. But it should be up to them. They're old enough to make that decision. You know what I mean? They're totally old enough to make that decision. That shouldn't be made for them. I hope they do make it the children's choice, because they should be able to do what they feel comfortable doing. And no matter what they do, they're going to have to, they're going to have so much from this. Just kids going through a divorce is traumatic enough in their lifetime, can cause abandonment issues, but all of this is so bad. It shouldn't be forced either way. No, it should be their decision, Apple, but they should have the ability to make that decision. It shouldn't be because, and I think her mother, from what I learned about her mother was involved in the Head Start program and is very, she's a very educated woman, especially with teaching. And I believe she was a professor of education, something along those lines. And I don't think would just hold a grudge and then just say, well, you're not seeing them. They never got to say goodbye to their mom, but they should have the ability to choose what they want to do. They did have supervised visitation with their father prior to their mother going missing. They have a chance for a future, but there's so much. I mean, people losing their parents at a later age deal with so much. You've got kids here that are just, their whole world was rocked. And again, here they are with their 85-year-old grandmother, which they're probably going to be scared to death they're going to lose her too. And if that happens, in the next couple of years, I hope she lives to 120, but no, he didn't, but he's in grim condition, Jeannie, and I don't think he's going to make it. I think they're just waiting for the family to come over from Greece, which they did tonight. And you've got to go back and look at his Facebook page, and you look at these kids that had everything. And now they have everything money can buy, but money can't buy them the most important things that they need in their life. And it's really sad. And, everybody's, they keep saying everybody's presumed innocent until proven guilty. And so whatever, it's alleged, and it's pretty strong that he did this and just destroyed their whole lives. But I don't know. It's just, well, yeah, a nanny, yeah, but it's still, it's not their mother. It's not, it's not their life that they had. It's not, it's so senseless, and it's just, I don't know. It's just, it's so sad. It's so horrific when you see, because like their father, the boys were really good at water skiing, so that whole part of their life is gone, that bond, whatever it was they had with him. I'm sure he loved his kids. Okay. And it's just for such senseless reasons that he went and did this. If he allegedly did this, um, it's just, it's terrible. But if he's going to not make it, I think that the children should be asked if they want to see him before he goes. Because if they weren't given that, I think they will have a lifelong resentment if they want to. He moved his kids so much. He moved his kids so much. He loved his kids so much. Is that what you're going to say? Yeah, I don't think, right. But whatever it is, the kids deserve to make that decision. They're old enough to make that decision. And I hope that they will get that chance if they want. That's okay, Sharon. You can disagree. That's fine. She needs. Caught up. They need to be followed long term. Yeah, it's going to be. There's just so many issues these kids are going to have, and yes, they'll have all the therapy in the world. They'll have everything money can buy. That's not an issue, but it's just just in the blink of an eye. I guess he's thinking he's going to get away with it. He was going to get the kids back. He was going to raise them with his new wife, whatever it is, and doesn't work out that way. They could not say goodbye to their mother, Karen, but still, they're old enough that a decision should not be made for them. And they should have, I'm sure they have a law guardian through the divorce that should be speaking with them about this. That's their choice. Nobody has the right to make, that's all I'm saying. They need to make that. They're old enough. The youngest is 9 or 10. I have one at that age. Believe me, he could make that decision. He's cognitive enough to make a decision like that. I hope, I hope that never ever has to happen with him, but I'm saying mentally, a child of that age can understand either I want to see him and say goodbye. I don't want to see him. Maybe they want to go there and yell. Let them go there and yell at him, but let them have whatever closure they need. It should be up to them. You don't know, Jeannie, but let them make that decision. Even if they want to go there and yell at him. Whatever they want to do, they should be allowed to do that. That's, they've been ripped from so much. Yeah, and I hope that either Mawini or Draconis tells them where her body is so that she can be brought somewhere where they can have some type of closure with her. Even, right, Ivy Lynn, there were good times. It's like when somebody goes through a horrendous divorce and they say, oh, he never loved me, or she never. No, usually that's because they're so clouded. But even in the worst of relationships, there were good times. And I have no doubt that they had some good times with their father. Okay. And they probably still love him on some level, even if they truly believe he killed their mother. And you have to understand also, for their self-esteem, if you paint this man to be this monster, he's evil, he's this, he's that, he's their father. He's their biological father. What do you think that does to them? How would you feel? I mean, they're half of that. So that's why you're not supposed to disparage, even in, that's their father. He killed her, right. But the more somebody says to them, he's evil, he's this, he's that, they're half of him. And you have to understand what that does to them. Okay? Because you can't just say, oh, well, he gave you nothing. So they have so many issues to deal with that the last thing that if he is going, they should be allowed to decide if they want to go see him. That shouldn't be in anybody else's hands but their own. They're all old enough to make that decision. Oh, Jeannie, I'm sure that they go to school, these kids. I'm sure they've heard this, I don't think so, Carla. I not now. I don't think so. No, I don't think he's, but I'm not saying, that whatever I just think that this is one thing they've had like no choice in anything that's happened. They've had no choice in losing their mother. They've had no choice in anything, going through the divorce, all of that stuff. Now, here it is. If he's going to go, let them decide. Like I said, they might even want to go there and yell at him, but it should be on their terms. Pretty sure with the press, they haven't. What? Thank you, Crime Time Medicine. He was selfish and everything. Yes, absolutely. But I don't know. I mean, like, if you know that's your father, okay, and he is, gave you half of what you have, and then you think he's a monster. Am I going to be a monster? Am I going to be like that? The more they hear about that, that affects them. It does. It's just, you weren't allowed to say goodbye to your grandpa, you resented. Yeah. I mean, just let them make that decision. One thing they have control of is to make that decision. No, he didn't. If he allegedly did this, and we strongly think he did, right? Because we saw him throwing out her clothes and stuff. It doesn't make sense if he would do that if he didn't do this. So we, for all intents and purposes, know he did this. But you have to understand he's still their father. But he's not her dad. But that's your decision, Jeannie, right? That's your decision. That's yours. It should, all I'm saying, they should have they should be able to make that decision. So they don't carry around resentment that you didn't even let me do that. Maybe one of them wants to go, maybe the other one doesn't, maybe the other one wants to scream at him, but they should be given the choice. Yeah, Lufa, safe, but she has no idea. This is going to be around and around and around. It's going to be something they carry for the rest of their life. It'll be 100% it's traumatic either way, but they can let them, I just think that they should let them choose. And whatever they want to do, they want to kiss him goodbye, let them kiss him goodbye. They want to scream at him, let them scream at him. They want to spit in his face, let them spit in his face, but let them do what they want to do. But it's too late, Lufa. What Fotis has done will always be here. There's no way to sweep this under the rug. This is tried, in the public. Right, sure. So it's a sad situation. I mean, it really affects me. When you look at the Facebook page and you see these kids, and for what? For what did he do this? It's ridiculous. Yeah, you shouldn't make them, they're old enough to decide, maybe if they say no, they might regret it, but then it's at least from their own hand, not that they're going to blame somebody else. He broke up with Michelle. The children are very, I think the oldest children are 12 or 13. There's two sets of twins. I think they might be like 13, 11, and 9. Or the youngest one might be 10. The youngest one, I think, they might be 10, 12, and 14. Some, along those lines, in that age range. They're not older than 14. 14 would be the absolute oldest they are. The truth as gently as possible in life is, it's right, Sunflower, yeah. It's sad because the new girl. Yeah, we went over that. Mrs. McJagger went over the timeline, and then she helped him clean up stuff as well. They could very well think their dad is innocent. Maybe they need to think their dad is innocent, that's really troubling to have, you know what I mean? That can be troubling for a lot of people to have a family member that does such a horrific thing. And should it demanded to see him, I'm lucky like that. They always knew. I would 100%, this man has affected so many. Felt this sad. The attorney felt responsible. Yeah, the truth is best. They're going to need a lot of therapy either way. Like I said, they have all the money for all the therapy they can have, but it's never, it's just so senseless what he thought, you know. But it should definitely be up to them. They've had, no choice in anything that was done. And there was, just everything was ripped from them. The night before she went missing, was killed, they had dinner with their father back behind the house. And then the next day, their whole lives changed. Yeah, Sunflower. Deborah, I mean, they describe him as being in grim condition, and it doesn't look like he's going to make it to me. I don't think so. I think he was down, with the carbon monoxide for too long. They at least 10 minutes of CPR in the driveway before anything, and the attorney didn't look like his condition was good. The judge ordered him to be rearrested today. We're going to go through that in a minute, but you know, it looks like he's not going to make it. I think they're just waiting for the family to come over from Greece, and then they'll determine if he's brain dead. I think they will just tomorrow we'll hear that, he's not here anymore. I think they're just waiting, and that's why they haven't released much about his condition other than to say it's grim. My dreams would always be to bring back. Yeah, Kansas Sunflower. I think viewing their dad would be very traumatic. Again, yes, it's up to them though. I think they should be given. They'll speak to them about what they'll see. They're not just going to let them go in there, but I think they should be given the decision to make on their own. The kids are old enough. Well, that's what we're talking about, Kristen. That they should, I think they should be given that decision to make. Yeah. You need to look at some of the other things that Pattis is saying. Yeah, I'm going to look at that in just a minute. I just wanted to talk about the kids first. They're tweens, teens and tweens. I think they're like from there's two sets of twins and then one singleton. And the singleton, I believe, is the youngest, and I believe she's 10 years old now. And then I think the others are like 12 and 14 or 13. They're very close. The first sets of twins, they're not even 2 years apart, if I remember correctly. So they might be something even like 12 and 11 and 10. They're very close in age because she had them very, very late in life. So she had to have them, back to back. No, I think Mrs. McJagger, I think you've got it mixed up. She went to the grocery store the day that Jennifer went missing in May. And now you've got the bond lady that was there the day that he attempted suicide. It's two different, totally different things. The girlfriend was not anywhere near him yesterday or the day before. Yeah, Sunflower. You sued the hospital that he's in, Jacoby? Happy birthday, Apple. I don't think he's going to, Joyce. I think he was, it was too far gone. They showed today that he was in the, he was in a big Chevy Suburban, and he had a piece of flexible hose from the tailpipe right into the car. So it wasn't even that he was just running the car in the garage, because then it would have taken longer. He put the, the carbon monoxide right in the car, because some people will just close their garage and just let the car run. But his lives, he lives, would cost millions for treating him in prison. So I think with that, he even had a higher concentration of carbon monoxide for a longer time until they got to him. Why did the search? Oh yeah, and they were looking for a suicide note, Kristen, it said. They were searching for a suicide note among other things. I'm sure he left notes, I would say, to his children. I really do. I don't think there's going to be anything like a confession, because he wasn't going to go out like that. I think if anybody's going to say where Jennifer is, oh, go back. Okay. Hold on. If anybody's going to say where Jennifer is, then hold on. I got to, okay, stop sharing. Then it's going to be Troconis or Mawhinney, and that's only going to be because they're going to get a plea deal. But I think Mawhinney is dangerous for what he did to his own wife, having that guy right there on her deck. That is freaking so dangerous. What we were discussing is two different news stations are putting out two different stories. One said a friend who was involved in his bonding. New York Post says the girlfriend. Okay, we're gonna look. We're gonna look at what happened. Let's take. Let me go get. Is this what? Somebody tell me when it's. Oh, it will be 3 o'clock in the morning before we'll be able to go to Streamlabs again. I can't stand this. All right. Where did I put Fotis? Okay. So, judge orders rearrest of Fotis Dulos, but he's in dire condition after an apparent suicide attempt. A judge in Connecticut has ordered that Fotis Dulos, who is charged with killing his estranged wife, should be arrested once he's released from the hospital, which I don't think it's going to happen. Well, he'll be released from the hospital. I don't think he'll be living, no. Where he is receiving treatment from an apparent suicide attempt. But Dulos was in dire condition at Jacobi Medical Center, his attorney said. We await word from physicians as to what is reasonable to expect. Attorney Norm Pattis told reporters, adding that he couldn't discuss his client's condition. And the reason I think he can't do that is because the family is coming from Greece. The estranged husband of Jennifer Farber Dulos failed to appear at an emergency bond hearing Tuesday after one of the properties used to secure his $6 million bond was determined to be in foreclosure and didn't meet the bond requirements set by the court. Officers later found him at his Farmington, Connecticut house in distress and called for an ambulance. Dulos was initially taken to a local hospital for treatment of carbon monoxide poisoning and has since been transferred to Jacobi in the Bronx for treatment in a hyperbaric chamber. Wednesday, a Superior Court judge ordered 3 rearrest warrants for Dulos that increased his bond $500,000 to $6.5 million because he missed his court hearing. At Wednesday's hearing, Pattis agreed to waive extradition proceedings to allow Dulos' family to have access to him while he's hospitalized in New York. Today's agreement is a recognition of the difficulty of his medical condition, Fotis told reporters outside the court. We have agreed that he can be in rearrest status when and if he's able to return. Okay, so let's see. Then he says, let's see. We remained committed, obviously, to the proposition that Mr. Dulos is not guilty of the crimes charged and hope that he recovers so that we can vindicate him in a court of law, Fotis said. Fotis said he is shocked after learning of his client's suicide attempt. I saw nothing that led me to believe that, he said. I look back and I wonder what I missed. Okay. Okay, and now let's go to So police in Connecticut executed a search warrant at the Connecticut home of Fotis Dulos just one day after the man accused of murdering his long missing wife tried to take his own life. Dulos remained in critical condition in a New York hospital intensive care unit Wednesday. The man's sister and another relative were coming to the city from Greece to see him, and his attorneys say he may not recover. The Western District Major Crimes Unit obtained the warrant for the Farmington home on Jefferson Crossing, and detectives were executing it Wednesday afternoon. It was not immediately clear what police may be searching for inside the home and why the search warrant was executed after Dulos' attempted suicide, but I heard that it was on the news that they're looking for a suicide note. It is the same home where Dulos was found unresponsive in his garage, apparently from carbon monoxide poisoning, when he failed to appear for an emergency bond hearing. Dulos' attorneys went back in court for a bond hearing on Wednesday afternoon. During the bond hearing, it was determined that a new bonding company will look into compiling a new $6 million bail package since the initial bonding company is off the hook. The bail technically has not been received. If it were revoked, he would technically be in New York City custody again, and that would limit access by family members to visit him in the hospital. Additionally, during the court hearing, both parties have agreed that when and if Dulos does get better, he will be rearrested and extradited back to Connecticut. Due to his condition, which Fotis described as dire and grim on Wednesday, and the fact that bail was technically not revoked, the family is currently allowed to visit him while he is in the hospital. Although Dulos is not in custody in New York due to his medical condition, Fotis did say that there are guards posted. Dulos has been under house arrest since he was taken into custody this month on murder and other charges in the disappearance of his wife, Jennifer. She vanished in May. Nobody has been found. Fotis, who said he was away in Washington, D.C. when Dulos tried to take his own life, refused to speculate why his client may have tried to end his own life. Fotis said that he has had previous clients attempt suicide, and he always wondered what he could have done better. I feel that I let him down, that he trusted me to be his good shepherd through the valley of the shadow of death, and perhaps he reached out and I didn't hear what he needed. And I feel a sense of responsibility for his welfare, Fotis told NBC News. Meanwhile, police declined to say Tuesday if they found any indication, such as a note, that would suggest it was a suicide attempt, saying the investigation was too early to conclude that. Dulos was transported to UConn Health Center to be treated for carbon monoxide poisoning, then airlifted to a hyperbaric chamber at Bronx Jacobi Medical Center. He was removed from that chamber Tuesday night. The emergency hearing Tuesday had been called to address whether there was adequate security for the $6 million bond. On Wednesday, April Wallace with Palmetto Surety Company, the company that secured Dulos' bond, told NBC News that they had called the hearing after finding that one of his 6 properties had been used for collateral was foreclosed in December. Between 1 million and 2 million in equity was tied to that property to meet the bond, but it was foreclosed. We would not be able to see any of it, Wallace said. The Connecticut Insurance Department first alerted Palmetto Surety that there might be issues with the collateral, she added. Meanwhile, people who live in the Fairfield County town where Jennifer Dulos lived and is believed to have been murdered were shocked at the latest developments, with many saying the suicide attempt convinced them more than ever that he may be guilty. Could be guilt. Maybe he had something to do with it. I don't think you act like that if you don't have a guilty conscience. Another New Canaan resident said it proves he doesn't have his conscience very clear. In a message to the people who speculated the reason for Dulos's attempted suicide, Pattis said, if they made up their minds before seeing the evidence, then shame on you. The 52-year-old father was arrested on murder and kidnapping charges January 7th in connection with what authorities say was the killing of Jennifer Dulos, who hasn't been seen since she dropped her children off at school on May 24th. Authorities cited circumstantial evidence, including DNA testing and surveillance camera footage in arrest warrants. He has denied any involvement in her disappearance or death. Police allege Fotis Dulos lay in wait at Jennifer Dulos' home in New Canaan for her to return after dropping her children off at school. Authorities say Fotis attacked the woman in her garage, leaving behind a bloody crime scene, and drove off with her body, which has not been found. Dulos' former girlfriend, Michelle Draconis, was charged with conspiracy to commit murder. She is also under the same house arrest and GPS monitoring conditions. Also facing that charge, Dulos' friend, attorney Kent Mawhinney. Police say they helped Fotis Dulos try to cover up the killing, including creating bogus alibis. Last week, Dulos waived his right to a probable cause hearing so he could ask for a speedy trial that may start as early as next fall. So, I don't know, someone's saying something about the New York Post saying something about a girlfriend. I'm not sure where you're seeing that. Who is that, Mrs. McJagger? Because I'm looking. Here's the New York Post right here. Let me see. Fotis Dulos' medical condition is dire after suicide attempt, lawyers say. And this is all what we've about the foreclosure. Dulos, a luxury home builder, couple. Yeah, I don't see that. I think you might be mistaking. You're reading something of the day she was disappeared, and then she was at a Stop and Shop taking pictures with a robot. There's a lot of unless you're getting this like from another channel, there's a lot of misinformation out there. Let me go back to. It was a news video, no mistake. The blonde woman who found is believed to be his new girlfriend. His new girlfriend? Okay. Where is this? Can someone tell me where this information is? Because I haven't seen it on any of the news stations from New York. I just went to the New York Post and it's not there. Ann Curry? Not Ann Curry, the reporter from the Today Show. Yeah, I don't think she's the girlfriend either. And hang on. Okay. So North Carolina woman paid $147,000. Okay. Now, before I even look at this, if this is someone that, like one of those that writes to guys in prison, and this is some lonely woman out in North Carolina that contacted him somehow to give him money, I have no doubt he would have said whatever he needed to take the money. Okay. But I haven't even looked at this. Okay. Fotis Dulos was able to post the $6 million bond after he was arrested for the murder of his estranged wife because Anna Curry, a North Carolina, here's North Carolina weaved in there again, contributed $147,000 in cash and promised to pay another $272,000, according to records obtained by The Current, which is a Connecticut publication. The bond became a critical issue this week when it became the subject of an emergency court hearing Tuesday. Instead of going to the hearing Tuesday and possibly being sent back to jail if his bail was revoked, Dulos attempted suicide at his Farmington home, setting off a chaotic sequence of events. The state had sought to revoke the bond because the Palmetto surety company, which secured it, was now saying it no longer would do so because the collateral used to secure it wasn't sufficient. Palmetto underwrote the bond with 6 pieces of real estate, but 2 of them, including the Jefferson Crossing home, are in foreclosure, and a third is significantly overvalued. Dulos referred to Curry, a former co-worker of Dulos at a New York financial firm, as his best friend in the bond documents. Okay. Curry signed a $3 million promissory note and was one of 2 indemnitors listed on the documents. The other is a high-profile private investigator from Fairfield County who initially was hired by Dulos's lawyers. The bond package has since been questioned by the South Carolina insurance company that initially underwrote it. Curry, 42, was present at Dulos's Jefferson Crossing home on Tuesday when Dulos was supposed to be heading to Stanford hearing. Sources say that Curry left Jefferson Crossing to run some errands sometime before 10:30 a.m., and when she returned shortly before noon, Farmington police were already on the scene attempting to revive a nearly lifeless Dulos. She was interviewed by Farmington police as part of their investigation into Dulos' suicide attempt. It is my understanding and belief they were old friends who developed a friendship years ago at work, and out of loyalty to that friendship, she had assisted Mr. Dulos' attorney, Norm Pattis. We should all be lucky enough to have such a loyal friend. Dulos was clinging to life at the Jacobi Medical Center in the Bronx on Wednesday in dire condition, according to Pattis. At a court hearing Wednesday, the issue of possibly revoking the $6 million bond wasn't raised. Judge Gary White said that he would take up the issue if Dulos is ever able to attend court again. Records obtained by The Current through a Freedom of Information request to the State Department of Banking show that on January 9th, Curry wrote 2 checks totaling $147,000 to pay the bail bondsman his fee on the $6 million bond. Dulos wrote a check for $1,000, records show. The checks were made out to 24/7 Bail Bonds LLC, the bail bond company which handled the bond. In order to get bonded out, a defendant must post 7% of the bond in cash. With a $6 million bond, Dulos needed $420,000 in cash to get out. Curry also agreed to pay the balance of $272,150 in 15 installments on the 9th of every month until April 2021, records show. Among the other documents submitted as part of the bond package was a form filled out by Dulos listing his personal information from how many children he had to his occupation. On one line under best friend, Dulos wrote Curry's name along with her contact information. Dulos listed that he worked at Capgemini, a New York technical consulting firm, for several years in the early 2000s, at the same time that Curry was working there, according to her LinkedIn profile. Sources say that she has been supporting Dulos behind the scenes for several months, although she has never appeared in court with him. Curry also signed a promissory note of $3 million to the Palmetto surety company, the company that initially insured the bond, records show she is the only one listed on that note, records show. However, there is a second person, Patrick McKenna, a well-known private investigator in Connecticut. Records show that McKenna agreed on January 16th. He was hired by Fotis to work on the Dulos case over the summer. McKenna declined to comment Wednesday. For now, with Dulos hospitalized and near death, the bond revocation hearing has been postponed. It is unclear if Curry will ever get her money back. Fotis said that if the bond hearing is held, he will argue it is a dispute between the bondsman and the insurance company and not Dulos' fault or issue. Fotis has lined up New York bondsman in Judelson to assume the bond. Judelson, who represents Ira Judelson, Ira Judelson, who represents high-profile clients from media mogul Harvey Weinstein to football player Antonio Brown, said he has been preparing a bond package and is ready to take it over when necessary. He appeared in court on Wednesday and left with the attorney for Palmetto. Okay, so anything that's a girlfriend is purely speculation. They're good friends that work together. Could they be a girlfriend? Maybe. We don't know. But it's not there. It says good friend. Hold on, I've got to get back to, no, what am I doing? I don't want to go, I can't go back there. I've got to go back to YouTube, which would be there. Okay. Oh, let's see. Right, but she's just a good friend. You can't call her a girlfriend because it's not there. It's not factual. There was an article that said his girlfriend went to the store, and that's good friend. Good friend is anybody calling her a girlfriend. Where did it come from? They are referring to her. Anybody can say that. What source do we have that it was? We have a source that it's his good friend. And does it really, you know, I mean, she put up the money for him. It's, Mrs. McJagger, maybe, possibly, we don't know. But there's enough craziness about this case that's just whatever, you know, it's. No, you mean Michael's, Lacey, not that Dollar Tree. And I do have information. I did call on that today, and there were, you're not going to believe this. I have it. I did record it. There were boxes at my Michael's, the one that's like an hour from me, 45 minutes to an hour from me. She said to me they had a lot of them. I said, do you have a lot of them? Because I'm like an hour away. And she's like, yeah, we have a lot of them. We put them out like 2 days ago or something, and she still had them. I didn't go. I was very proud of myself. I didn't go. For money, calling in favors, yeah, whatever. He definitely likes wealthy women. He's a narcissist. Well, she's younger than, yeah, she's younger than him. So I think Sugar Mama usually is older than him, but she's definitely, helping him out. I don't, why, maybe, who knows? He was an attractive guy. I mean, you're not going to lie about that. Okay. But, I don't know, maybe they had something in the past, maybe they didn't. Whatever it is, she put out money for him. And, she's been questioned, and that's it. She'll probably never get her money back, but that was her choice. I think Trachonis or Mawini will say things, but I think Mawini is a very dangerous guy because he does want his wife gone. Okay. And what he did, having that guy, I mean, that woman should be scared to death if he gets out on some kind of plea. But I think by tomorrow as soon as the family's had enough time, he'll be gone. The reason they weren't updating his condition is because they didn't want to do that before the family got to see him. The mystery boxes at Michael's, the $4 mystery boxes. They were picked over. I couldn't even made myself buy one. Oh, really? You went to your closest Michael's. They were so picked over. I couldn't. Well, I heard another person in Florida went there at 8:00 tonight and they had none, but they told her they were going to put some out in the morning. She's going to be looking for them. Did you call T-Prime? Did you call about them? It was a contentious divorce, and he didn't have, he had supervised visitation, and I think he thought that he would get full custody or whatever with his, and move on with his life. You're heading down to scrap for 4 days. Oh, really? You go scrapping? All right, let me see something now. Oops. What happened here? My mail just went like, fine. Okay. Oh, that's what I was. Apple Snapple. You must have a delay because that's what I had there. Okay. And then thanks to the mother in Phoenix was charged with They're finally charged with the murder of the 3 children today. Rachel? Excuse me. Okay, sorry. Was finally charged. And let's see. I'm so discombobulated about where I go back to, because I keep looking for Streamlabs and sorry. Thanks. Thank you. You're taking decoupage stuff because you didn't have. T-Prang, are you in Zoom? Because there is the code in the craft section. I put the code, if you, were you in there? Did you see some of the, you know, not just Annie Cuckoo's, hers too, she got a lot of stuff, but I saw this other lady, she was pulling, like, there's a lot of stuff granted that, you know, like I was like, what I don't know what I can do with, but like, just like the galvanized stuff that they got in those bags, like she pulled out like 6 different galvanized buckets that were like $12 a piece in there. And then one of the really nice plaid ones that I got with the handle that I got at the, you know, the pre-Christmas clearance, she got in the bag. I mean, I would feel around if I was there, and I would probably only get ones that had galvanized stuff in them. And then she got one that was like full of the picks. If you're a wreath maker, she got like big wreaths in there too, you know, I mean, but then there was some stuff that I'd be like, what the heck am I going to do with that? She got I saw some other lady got a $60 wooden Advent thing with drawers and everything. I don't know. I think you could kind of feel around. She had bags, like Auntie Cuckoo, everything was in boxes. This lady had mostly bags and only like 2 boxes. I didn't buy one. I heard my store, like I couldn't believe it. I called today because I said New York stores are going to be really rude. The lady was really nice. She must have heard me last night and figured if anybody calls in about these bags, you better be really nice to them on the phone. And I said, do you have those grab bags? And she said, yes, we do. And I said, do you have a lot of them? Because I'm like an hour away. And if you only have like 2 left, I don't want to come down there. And she said, no, we have quite a few. We've had them out for like 2 days now. So I figured if they had them 2 days now and they still weren't taken, and then she said something like, we're going to put more out or something. I don't know. And then somebody down in Florida, she said they were gone. She went in at 8 o'clock, but they said they were putting more out in the morning. I don't know. Check it out. If you have Michael's, call him up. Hartung found guilty on all 3 counts. Judy, I'm afraid they are gone. What are you afraid they are gone? Oh, the children. Yeah, tomorrow. Yeah, that shocker, right? They're either gonna off themselves, disappear, or they don't have the kids. You think they're gonna show up with the kids? Carolyn meant, not Mentz. Etsy has a wonderful selection of vintage decoupage napkins. You put the code in Slack. No, but you can't get the code in Zoom. It's in Slack. Did I say Zoom? Oh, did I say Zoom? Okay, then yeah, Slack. Sorry. Anything on Tomball, Texas? No. Nothing. No arrest, nothing. They have such a huge flight risk. What will happen if they do not show up? They could be charged with contempt of court. I think Dulos, we're going to hear Dulos is gone tomorrow. Can you imagine if Mawini kills himself in I don't know. I don't know, because the kids saw a lot, and who knows, they're, why would they do a lot of what seems to be surrounding them? What if his wife has been murdered? Who do you think did that? Because they heard voices? I don't know. I don't know, Judy. I don't know. I imagine that they're going to offer something. Trichonis is due back in court February 9th. Right. Yeah. Donald Hartung convicted on 3 counts. Death penalty case. I don't think they were sold. I think the girls. I don't think they were sold. Unfortunately, I think they're you love to listen. Oh, thanks, Teresa. What is it that you didn't know, Jeannie, about the mother and with the kids? Jetta, maybe. Yeah, I don't think it's looking good. I don't think it does. I don't. Yeah, Lawrence. I'm telling you, this is just January. It's like it's almost over. It's just been. It went pretty fast. I mean, I can't believe we're at the end of January, and I should know why. I guess my property taxes are. I have to send them in 31st. New York property taxes. That's always fun. Oh, good night, Melissa. I need a couple of people to carry that check to the door. Property taxes like our rates here. Crazy. Your hubby turns 76 tomorrow. He's 20 years older than you. We went and had Thai food tonight. He's 20 years older than you? Happy birthday to your hubby. Yeah, you don't want to imagine. You don't, believe me, you don't want to imagine them. You were talking about the guy who shot the officer. Oh, okay. Your dad was 22 years older than your mom? My brother-in-law, my sister's husband, his dad was like 20 years older than his mom, and his dad lived to like He just died. It passed away, I think, last year. Like 100 and, was he 100 or 99 or 100 years old? So he lived a long time, because my brother-in-law is, how old is he? 59. And he had his dad he had his dad who was like in his 40s, in his mid 40s, I mean, when he was born. And he had him up until he was 58 years old. Isn't that amazing? Will you be taking to the, I'll go through, saying, remember that commercial where your money gets out and starts walking out the door? That's how it is when I pay the taxes, school or property up here. Bye, money. I wait till I don't want to pay any penalty fees, so I always pay it on the first installment in full. But I wait to the absolute last day, because they're not getting my money any sooner. No sooner am I giving it to them. But I always have like a mourning period where it waves as it goes out the door. Oh my goodness. Yeah, right. Your kids were babies. Your father is now 82. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. And they're so unfair up here. I want to make a video about the unfairness of just how unfair they are. Around this same lake, just so you just see the unfairness, because it's ridiculous about New York. Same lake, same exact type of property, same amount of property, right? The assessment for my land as opposed to my neighbor's land, I'm assessed at twice. So let's say they're assessed at 30,000 just for the land. I'm just using round number. I'm assessed at 60,000 for this. And they actually have like, that's actually like, I think she has like a half an acre, even more than me. They pay half the assessment of the land, not the houses. We're not talking about, because you get a land assessment, then you get your house assessment, then you get a total assessment. The land assessment, she has about a half an acre more than me. Her assessment, let's say it's 30 minus 60 for the land. I go to the grievance day every single year. I have everything. And there's 3 other properties like that. One has 3, listen to this one. Another one has 3 times as much land as I do. Okay. And she has a lower land assessment than I do. You explain that to me, please. Okay. Another one has double and has a lower land assessment than me. I go to the grievance day every single year, and they look at you and they say, I don't know. Well, I don't know. Just give it to us. We'll look at it. Then I get a letter back and it says, we have not changed your assessment. So imagine how that feels. That's like the biggest slap in the face. I just can't believe it. And they don't care. It's a good old boys network, good old boys. They're part of people that have lived here for all of their lives. It's ridiculous. It is, Karen, and there's no, and you go there. I went with my brother who's an attorney. We both went there. My brother's like, we're going to make this big case together. Oh, you're so great to work with, Carolyn. And we had all this stuff prepared. And I've only been successful at lowering one of the land assessments on the other land that I own with, because there's other land that we own. Only on one, like 6-acre parcel was I able to get that down. I uncovered all kinds of fraud like you couldn't believe. You couldn't believe. And you know what their answers are? Well, how do we know if nobody gives us a death certificate? It's literally my father, a World War II veteran, okay? It's like if we didn't go and give my father's death certificate, and then we took a veteran's exemption on the house that he owned, even though he was not alive anymore, there were people doing that kind of stuff. Okay? And the answer is, how do we know unless somebody comes and gives us a death certificate? It's outrageous. You're in the highest tax town in New York State. At least we have a very good school district too. Yes, I agree on that one, but I fight them all the time, Ivy, but it doesn't, they don't do anything. I want to expose the fraud. My brother's like, watch out, you'll get killed. My brother's like so freaked out. He's like, oh my gosh, they're going to shoot your tires out if they find out, you know? I'm just like, you know what? So many people, you know, it's like, but I had a neighbor, she was from Long Island, and she was like somebody like me. She's like, I don't care. I'm going there and I'm taking pictures of this and I'm taking pictures of that. And I don't care if they're good old boys. I'm going to go ahead and do this. And she did, and she got stuff done. And but there's so much fraud. You can't even believe the fraud and the corruption. Oh, it's just so aggravating to see that I'm paying double and I'm assessed at double. And these people have a freaking movie theater and a indoor pool in a separate building from their house. And I pay more in taxes. Tell me how that's fair. Just tell it, you know, explain it to me. That's what I go there every year. I say, explain this to me, because I'm missing something. Obviously, I'm missing something. And believe me, if it was me that put in an outbuilding with a movie theater and an indoor pool, I would be paying so high it would be, and everybody would be up in arms and say that you know, she has to pay more. No, detective, no. This has been a long, long time. It's the way it is. It's good old boys. It's and they're rude. The assessor, oh my gosh, she is so rude. You know what she's doing to my 94-year-old aunt? My 94-year-old aunt has a boathouse. I'm not joking. This is a boathouse next to her house. She drove by. She goes, that's a house. She assessed it as another house. She raised my aunt's assessment like you couldn't believe. So I helped my cousin. My brother and I helped my cousin that time. We go down there. She says, well, it looks like a house. So my cousin said, there's no bathroom in it. There's no kitchen in it. There's no way anybody could, this is a boathouse. Well, she like lowered it a tiny bit. So my aunt is paying as if she has 2 houses. And before I got up for my grievance, some other guy was upset with her because he had just built a house and he had an unfinished basement. And listen to this Einstein. Einstein drives by the house, the new assessor, and says, those windows look like that's a finished basement. He says to her, "There's not a finished basement. Here's the pictures. Do you want me to drive you up there right now? I'll take you right inside the house. It's not a finished basement." She goes, "It looked like a finished basement." And then with me, she got really uppity and she said, "We just took over. We have such a mess to clean up. It's not our fault." But then now they've been for 3 years and they still, she tells me, "Oh, we're cleaning up. Did you look at this year's assessments?" "Yeah, I did. I'm still paying double, lady." "No," I see her. She goes like that. "Oh, those look like windows that she actually said that. I almost died. Those look like windows for a basement that's finished." And this was the guy's second residence. And he said, "I'll take you up there right now. I'll take you up there right now and I'll show you that's not finished." And then they always said the same thing. "Well, give us the stuff and we'll make a decision in 2 weeks. And then 2 weeks you get a letter back that says denied. And then you can take it to an appeal." You know, it's just absolutely, it's ridiculous. I should take a hidden camera in there this May. It's in May. I go every year, every single year. But she can't even tell me. I keep asking her. I keep saying, "You do see that they actually have a half an acre more than me. We're talking apples for apples. We're in the same location. We're right here. And there's 3 different neighbors that all have either just about the same or double, and they're all paying less." And you know who's the one that they raised a little more? The guy from Long Island. The good old boys, the 2 other ones, unchanged. Well, they had to change one of them because the amount she was paying was so low. It was insane. Same school district, everything. We're right here. We're all here. Same lake, everything. Same type of land, everything. Because it's who they are. Family's been here since the beginning of time. We're city slickers. People would, oh, they still do that, Diana. They still do. People will still do that. Oh, it's horrible, Peggy Sue. It is. I really do want to bring a hidden camera in there next time. It's because it's ridiculous. Right, Ivy Lynn. Yep. Yeah, I don't know. I've even called up to Albany and said, "You guys have got to take a look at this." No, I'm not near Times Square. No. There's a lot of corruption. There's so much corruption. Yeah, northern New Jersey. Yeah, we paid a lot in northern New Jersey too. Yeah. So anyway, so I yeah, so I get like that. It's like as it counts down, I'm just like, okay. It just bothers me so much, doesn't it? Like it just, I mean, it really makes me sick that I'm paying double for this. I don't know. I feel like, oh my gosh, I need my stress thingy because I get like I'm ready. Oh my gosh. Assessor in your town has been trying, you know, and they've come to, like, when one guy came out, okay, and I had hope in him, okay, he came out with clipboard and everything, and I was talking to him and I was saying, you know, this isn't right, and then he goes like this. He said, oh well, I won't say their name. They've got a lot of issues. I just saw that their taxes are going to go up by a lot. Then he's like, I saw that. I saw everything they put on. Okay. And I'm like, okay, this guy's going to fix things. Didn't change, because maybe he had high hopes, but maybe when he went back there, he was told, no, you can't do that. Squeeze for you too. And then guess this one. Oh, then I had a total, did I tell you about the total freak out I had on the town comes by and they have these machines that like clear off this, you know, this side of the road. Well, first of all, the guy didn't have like a sharp blade on it. Second of all, he almost cut down part of these blueberries that are been growing where they have, you know, they're native, okay? But it's this one big, nice, really nice bush that's on the side of my driveway, and it's been there. Nobody ever cuts it. Then all the land either I own or then I own with my siblings all the way up, right? Around the whole lake, he didn't do anything. He started gashing all of the trees on that side. I said, I noticed it. What the heck is this about? So I called the town. They got the guy up here right away. I said, who the heck is driving the bush hog? Because look at this, right? And these trees, he gashed them. They're going to die. They're going to need to come down. How come it's not on any other part of the lake, especially around where good old boys have blueberry bushes that have big signs? Nobody can touch them, okay? But yeah, I know it was done deliberately, but I made such a stink over it. Jimmy had to come and try to calm me down. I was out of my mind, and I don't care. I don't care. Because I know it was done for spite. Your taxes are not based on your house, but on the neighborhood. We all pay high. My brother's an attorney, Ivy Lynn. We did it together. We did it together. That's what I'm saying. My brother and I spent hours and hours and hours. But yeah, it's infuriating in many ways. Luckily, they grew back. I went ballistic. I went absolutely ballistic. Jimmy's like, well, it's okay. And I'm just like, don't tell him it's okay. It is not okay. And he's like, no, it's not okay, because I could show you. I have pictures of how they gashed the trees. So it was totally done. And I just, it's crazy. So, but anyway, so yeah, it's okay. Like it's just infuriating. Everyone, that's what my brother and I said down there. We said, you know, we're not against paying the taxes, but this is unfair. You know, it's not fair. We'll just make it fair. So unequal. The town, Diana, yeah, the town. Hey, Sapphire. You spent tens of thousands for private school those years, and of course, property taxes. So We have property and school here. We have a good school system, but it's still, it's so unfair. We want to pay our fair share, but it's not fair. Yeah, Rich. I don't know. It's everybody's like, you know, it was Jim Bob's cousin, and he's been doing it since, you know, it's just like, you know what I mean? Everybody's cousin. Trees in the UK have more protection than people. And then when I had to call for like a children at play sign, you don't even know what I had to do to get my first children at play sign. I had to go crazy. We pay such high taxes, and you need a children at play sign? I don't know if we have the money for that. Oh yeah, Noreen, you betcha. Yeah, I know. It's just I think you notice it more, Peggy Sue, like because everything's on the computer now and you can look everything up, right? Whereas before, like maybe I would not want to know about it, okay? Now that I know about it, it's 10 times worse than when I didn't know about it. Like if I keep thinking if my mother knew about this, like if when my mother was alive, we could have went on the computer and she would have seen this, my mother would have gone ballistic, just like I did. And it infuriates me. Like I don't even want to go and look at it as the tax lookup because it infuriates me. And I think when they were just on the tax rolls down, a lot of people didn't go look it up. Like I know my parents weren't looking it up. They just paid the taxes and you hope that they were fair. But now that I know it's not, it's 10 times worse for me. So with everything being online, yeah, totally different. Because you see like exemptions people are taking, you see, and you're like, what? A tree farm? Okay, you know, and you're like, what? Okay. So, you know what I mean, right? If you pay your house, I don't have a mortgage. That's the thing, Julie. I don't have one. My taxes are like a freaking mortgage. I can't even imagine having a mortgage with my taxes. You're retired, you tried to get old homestead. I guess now you can only be on it on poverty guideline. I told you. Ugh. No, they're not trying to drive us out. It's just no, they like us because they get good money from us. They're just trying to keep their money coming in. But I think a lot of people didn't know, really didn't understand what some other people are paying. Hi, Claire. But anyway, yeah. Australia has very high taxes on everything. Food is highly taxed. On the other side, when hard times fall, like bushfires, the government has plenty of money to give back. And together now that our children are grown, I love them. Can't wait. Oh, okay, Julian, that's good. It's crazy. They're called scumbags. Oh my gosh. So yeah. So I always get like stressed this because it would be like, I would say, wow, our taxes are high, but at least if everybody was paying their fair share, it would be good. But then you walk around, you see the people at the meeting, and you're like, and all you're thinking is like, why the hell are you paying 50% of what I'm paying? That's all I want to know. Someone explain it to me. See, if someone could just give me the explanation, then tell it to me. I'll be okay. But if you tell me you don't know, and then I'm supposed to just keep forking over twice as much, I don't get it. Like if they would just tell me something, like, I don't know. We think there's oil in your land. I have no idea. Just tell me something. We need to talk about, yeah. Well, you guys were around last year when I went to the grievance day, a lot of you, and it's like, yeah, go to the freaking grievance day. And then you just sit there and you go to the grievance day and you show them everything and you bring all your paperwork in. And it makes perfect sense. Like, this is black and white. How could you not? I don't know. We think there's gold there. Just tell me why you're doing that, please. Y'all are the gravy train, and if you try to sell, the prospective buyers would have to consider the reverse when you know they're lying. Yeah. But even at zero, tell me something, lie to me, give me some explanation. It's the worst when they just shrug their shoulders. Yeah, that's what they like better, Diana, when they didn't have that, when they didn't have the tax lookup online and people didn't go and check it out, then, you know, it's easier to hide crap. Are there a lot of people at grievance day? No, not too many. And they know it. Yeah, they just, they don't care. Like, that's what I'm saying. They don't care. The woman is so rude. Like, even my brother's like, she said the most stupid thing to us. And my brother goes, did you hear what she just said? I'm like, yeah, I did. She says, because we were talking about one of the parcels of land that we have, which is just land. It doesn't have a well, doesn't have a septic, doesn't have anything on it. It's vacant land. And so we were comparing it to another parcel that we were again paying much higher. So we're comparing it to the one we had was like 6 acres. We're comparing it to an 11-acre piece right next door where there is a house on it. And our land assessment is way more than theirs. And she says to my brother and I, well, you know that when something has a building on it and it has a well and a septic, that it's going to be assessed for more. And my brother and I both look at her and he goes, yeah, that's what we're saying. Theirs should be assessed for more. They have a well and a septic and a house on it. We have a vacant piece of land that's assessed higher than theirs. And she goes like, and he goes, you just put your foot in your mouth. And she goes like this, oops, I swear, oops, didn't change it. And my brother's like, well, at least she admits it. I'm like, yeah, that's great, Hank. Good. He thought at that time she was going to change it. Then we got all the letters back. And you don't say, yeah, probably. I would lose it. Right. Yeah, I know, dreaming. I've thought of that. I really have thought about just I mean, I've called up to Albany. I said, explain this. It's just ridiculous. You tried to apply for homestead. You have to be poor to do that. You hold your, yeah. You're getting just, I know. No, that's a separate parcel, Sharon, separate. With this. Oh yeah, I did. But you know, then if you get nasty with them, so you try to remain nice and you're laughing and you're thanking them when you're leaving. I'm so not like, thank you guys. I hope you understand. You know, it's just, you know, you're trying to remain so nice and everything. And then they just hit you back with, yeah, you can check it up at, you know, wherever state or county you are, tax lookup, and see everyone's taxes. It's public. Yeah, you can do an appeal, Lisa, but oh my gosh, it is that process. They intentionally make that so freaking difficult that you're just like, you throw your hands up by that time. It's so ridiculous, the whole thing. Yeah, paperwork, and then they don't even tell, like, you go, they won't even give you the forms for the appeal. They won't even tell you what time that they'll come in or what time they're, like, they do everything to thwart you from doing anything. Because they like you paying more. They don't want you to pay less. That sounds good, Sunny Bunny. Can you go to your mayor? That they're just tell you go to grievance day. The third, I think it's the third Wednesday in May. And I've been going there every time. They are paid, right? They're paid. Yeah, that's what the guy, when he's like, we don't get you paid a lot. You know, we don't have the money for this. Oh yeah, Mommy Dearest is good to watch. Yeah. I'm selling your house. Your taxes have tripled in 20 years. Yeah, it's crazy. Death and taxes. No, they can get like a star exemption or something, and you know, there's exemptions if they're veterans, and but there's all kinds of things. Like, it has to be, you know, you have to, like, we can't get any veterans exemptions for my brother or anything like that on the house that we own together, because it has to be his primary residence. So we can't do that. And meanwhile, like I said, you find out people were taking veterans exemptions when, yeah, that's crazy. 1,500. If you fell in the poverty guidelines, even though it's not our first house. I know there's supposed to be something for disability. If someone's on disability, they may get it. They may get a 50% deduction, but still they have to jump through hoops like crazy. for 2,800. Live in the country for years. They build behind you and they say you're part of the new subdivision. And oh, wow, 4 times? That's crazy, Kevin. Yeah. Suddenly I don't feel so bad. You don't, right? Yeah. It's crazy. So yeah. So I count it down now. It's like tomorrow's the 30th, then the 31st, and I wait till like 4 p.m. to go to the post office. To bring it down there. And then I'm so paranoid. Like if I ever have my boys mail it or something, or even Jimmy, I make him take a picture of the postmark because I'm just like, I don't trust them at all. You know? Oh. Did you get boxes? Did you get them, Sassy Darcy? Did you get them at Michael's? You got them? New York is crazy. It is crazy. New York is crazy. A lot of people are leaving New York because the taxes are so freaking high. Yeah. A lot of people, you know, it's just can't afford to do it anymore. They're incredibly high. Have gone up every year since, yeah, they never go down. They always go up, 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 up. We're on the road in front of it and they don't start till behind us. State income tax in Maryland is unbelievable. Cost of living here is terrible. Florida has a lot of exemptions. Condo fees are terrible at your place, Matt. You're in Canada, Matt. Are you in Canada, Matt? Only Michael's. Yeah, Michael's. They're doing boxes and bags. Did Sassy get some? Who got boxes? Did you get some? All your Michael's stores have a ton of them. Did you get some, Sassy? Sassy, did you get some? I pay on the last day too, without the extra. I don't even care if it's like I'm not giving them any more money. So it's like, I'll wait and then I'll just, that's it. Oh, you didn't get, okay. You eat a lot of peanut butter sandwiches. You want a Michael's box too? Scarily expensive, like London is New York. Texas and Florida. I hate crappy bread. $200 at most buildings. I'm almost tempted to fly over and get some. You called around today? Were they nice and pleasant on the phone, Sassy? New Jersey, Connecticut, New York, New Hampshire. What is that, Hennessy? Cost of living in Utah, we don't have the income. The prices of homes are ridiculous. Ridiculous which way, Sherlyn? You got 4 of them? What'd you get? Did you open them up, Rhonda? Did you get anything good? But you're in Minnesota. You got very nice stuff. What'd you get? Did you get any of the galvanized pails and stuff? Did you get boxes or did they have bags? Sakura, Matt is in Canada. Prices of houses in New Zealand are one of the highest of the world. Michael's employees on the phone were very nice. Yeah, my New York one was very nice too. I think she heard me last night though, Ceci. You get so hot in Arizona during the summer. You literally had a $400 electric bill, so you're pushing for statewide solar. My daughter says she's going to Ecuador again. Oh. Oz electric bills are so high. Rates are 4 times. Each one had a Christmas pillow. One had lots of ribbon, which was amazing. I got lots of baking supplies, craft sets for those foam kits, but I will donate those to kids at Christmas. The boxes are only $4. Yeah, boxes and bags, $4, right? Counties with the highest property taxes: Westchester, Rockland, Bergen. Your oldest daughter turned 17. She's taking her driving test. Now I'll have the 2 big ones driving. Really? They have a lot of those in the wind turbines in Pennsylvania, but they're so, you don't hear them. You can see them. We are adding solar, especially for my imaginary she shed. I want to move and be part-time nomad selling my house. Oh, I don't know. Time flies. It just certainly does. I was so nervous for my kids. I got them Volvo wagons for their first cars. Thanks. You wish you had a windmill? Hang on to property no matter what. They don't make it anymore. You've been window shopping? Oh, I've been on IKEA. I've been trying to look for like stuff downstairs, like for scrap box stuff, but I just get so frustrated with it all. So they're the safest case when coming with the thousands. The girls, like little mommies driving around those wagons. Dad's a dealer. And they call them grocery getters. Okay. Oh, I didn't know you have a 10-year-old, Danielle. I didn't know you had a 10-year-old. When are you coming to the US, Diana? This rang, spell check. Sad case, this rang, spell check. Your son is 4 and it's a lot of fun. I'm calling Michael's in the morning. Any other places that have the boxes? No, just Michael's dreaming. That's all I know of. Yeah, that's it, Michael's. Hey, Stephanie. Kai, the hill country is beautiful, lots of lakes and rivers. We want to move to Florida. Our son and his girlfriend are moving there in May. Spend some time and make sure you really want to do that. Because sometimes experience it at all times of the year. How much are boxes? $4. $4. I didn't call the one in PA. I mean, I just got the one in New York, and then she said they had lots of them. I don't know. I don't know. I just didn't feel like. Four boxes. We bought 10. Yeah, it's like, I don't know. It's like I've got so much to do. Like there's a few things in there like I like, but I say, I don't know. I mean, if it was different, if I was down there, if I had to go down there for another reason, I probably would get maybe one or two, but I don't know. I don't know. I think I've like the winter blues or something. I don't know. The last few days, I've just been like, just like really sad. I don't know. You're planning a big trip for April and May of 2021. You're going to Australia. Wow. 2 months. Wow. We're 8 to 13, 9 to 14. Yeah, that's what I thought. Not. I think the little girl is older than 9, though. If you look at her birth date, I believe she's 10 now. You've been listening for a while, but been very sick. So, I hope you feel better choking on ashes. I think this has been an unusually gloomy. It has been. It's been quick. It hasn't been that long, but it's just been really gloomy. All the news is depressing. Yeah, it is. Thanks for that. Just made my breakfast and you're still on. Better viewing the morning news. We revamped my home after flooding from a hurricane and plumbing issue just lost. I lost most of everything, wasn't covered for contents. I really enjoyed the boxes. That's good. That's good, Rhonda. You go to Australia every year for 2 months. Oh, wow. Oh, your daughter's there, Diana? You stay with your daughter? Oh, okay. I was like, oh, that's going to be expensive staying in a hotel for 2 months or something. You have a, I didn't know your daughter's there. Your happy mail will cure my winter blues. Okay, thanks. Try to hang on. I will. Thank you, Ceci. You won a trip to Bali. Where'd you win that on? From where, Rhonda? My niece goes there every year. Your daughter's there? Oh, okay, good. That's good. Well, that's good then. Oh, it's because you haven't been on here. gentle with yourself during the depression. Yeah, hot baths, hot water bottles, hot chocolate. Do something positive than a craft, maybe raise awareness and funds for kids, say, exploited and missing children. It's kind of related to cases. Nice day. We could do something positive like a craft. Uh-huh. You want it from Sweatcoin app on your phone? Wow, that's something. Cancun for a week next month. You can't wait. Craftathon. It's really a lovely group of people. I find it soothing. Thanks, Glam Dolly. You missed your childhood when you lived in a rural area with a huge house. It was a huge house, not far from the woods. Best place to be as a kid. Or donate the artwork to bring happiness. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, Carol, the ones that we pass by, you don't hear, they're just so far away. You don't hear them. No, we didn't stop playing that. It's just that, oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm going to get I promise I'll get the pictures up tomorrow. Yeah, it's been nuts. So much going on. There's a group. It's called Art Abandonment. I am say. Went to visit my daughter in the Netherlands. Make sure. Oh yeah, that sounds like fun. Where's that from Dallas? Do you want to build a business in Dallas, Katie? Their life, white noise. You could live by one easily. What do they sound like? Just like a lot of whooshing? Is anybody nervous about this? But that's another thing, right? That virus, stupid virus going around. Like my daughter goes to me, I feel like I have the sniffles, and I'm like, I hope it's not the coronavirus. She's like, it's not the coronavirus. And then she's like, though, her friend came into town. She's like, we didn't go into Chinatown, though. We probably would have. But, you know, I don't know. If you look at the news, it's I don't know. They're saying they might put restrictions on more flights and stuff. I don't know. Okay, thanks. Thanks, Kai. You don't want to be anywhere. Like that's, I mean, as silly as it sounds, like I was like, should I go to Michael's? And then coronavirus. Just stay home. I don't know, you know, I'm just like, and it's silly because you can't just sit there and do that. But, and I mean, we don't have any cases of the coronavirus here, so it's silly to even say that, but I don't know. Airports are more risky. You bought a ventilated mask. I have to buy another ventilated mask, nothing to do with the coronavirus, but when I paint, because my kids got a hold of mine and now it's theirs. And so that's it. Particular virus and its vaccine was patented by Bill Gates. Coronavirus on Arizona is too many beers. You had a case in your town. But you work at such a public place, and a place where a lot of people come in sick, right? Walgreens, where they come in to get prescriptions when they're sick. So you're still there. What to do when in public? Yeah, and mostly it's just common sense. You know, stay away from people coughing and stuff. Wash your hands. You grab 10 of those sanitizers, wiped clean the other night. Funny, but not. You're joking. Your fiance. You asked your daughter's former foster family in China if they're being affected. They said no, they're fine, and they go to work as usual. Oh yeah, I'm not that worried about it, Sharon. I mean, I just, it's just not that worried about it. It's already naturally formed. You don't want it to Cancun. Yeah, I don't know, like what they're going to. Sent me a picture. How's Steve doing? How are you doing, Steve? A little better today? I don't have anything yet. Are you sure you sent it? I don't have anything. I refreshed like 3 times. When did you send it? Nothing there. What kind of picture am I looking for? Just something from Oriental Trading. That's all I have. Oh, finally. Okay. You're wearing that into work? You don't wear that around work, do you? Are you working in Walgreens with that? I would be very scared. I get scared when I see people with masks because I think like they have something really contagious. It scares me the other way. Oh, I have to share my screen. Then see, this is different. Everything is different with this thing. You don't even understand. This is not my normal setup. How do I do this again? Got to share. Okay, so you'll see it in a second, but I don't know how you're working with that. They're fashionable. It's Apple Snapple with his mask. But do you wear it at work? You have some in different colors? Good. British Airways canceled all flights to China. You're not touching surfaces so much in public. I'm not going to eat out. Just for a while. No daily Starbucks. I have plenty of good coffee at home. I have the masks. Today has been awful, Steve says. I still feel very sad and depressed. You've been tearing up. I just can't handle it. Sorry if I'm sounding weak, but that's me. No, Steve. I mean, it's a bad month for anybody. Hold on a minute. So, you know, those are fabric masks, Glenn Dolly. Maybe they're dual purpose. I don't know. But do you wear them at work? Does any? I don't know. I get nervous. Is Kaz bad here? I listened to some of her music last night. White Rabbit is one of my favorites and reminds me of a friend who died 25 years ago. I don't think she's here yet. What time is it? Oh, she's on vacation. She's on vacation this week, I think. That's why she's not up early. Isn't she on vacation, J Bells? I think that's what she said. That's why she isn't up early. She's sleeping in. Oh, there she is. There she is. Who was that yesterday? We just mentioned their name and they came right flying into the chat. Who was that? That was somebody you just mentioned of their name and they were like right in there. Who? Nobody remembers who was that? Oh, Auntie Cuckoo, right? Yeah. Because I think a lot of people are listening and then they're like, was that my name? And they're like flying in. Auntie Cuckoo, that was right. It was like Auntie Cuckoo, Auntie Cuckoo, Auntie Cuckoo, right in there. I did buy myself a new chair. I got one of those. I got one of those gaming chairs. It wasn't you, but you just popped in here for like Candyman or Beetlejuice, right? Your son is panicking as he's a pilot himself, but does a lot of overseas travel. He's really worried about it. Well, I saw there's a lot of people that don't think they're going to get back that are in China. That's what I saw in the news today. I hope they're awesome. Sometimes some things that are supposed to be so awesome aren't really that awesome when you get them, right? I don't have it yet. I hope I'll like it. I didn't get it yet. I just ordered it yesterday. Try to get out of the house, Steve. Just walk and enjoy being outside. It'll help just one day at a time. Stay positive. Your heart will mend a little each day. We're all rooting for you. Yeah, what MC said. You have a pic of the chair. It's so annoying to go get. I'll show you when it comes. It's purple. It's got purple accents. The gamer, yeah. No, it's supposed to be like it'll recline, like you can recline back in it. You can, it's supportive, so it'll come up here, so I won't have to hold my neck and stuff like that. I might fall. Can you imagine if I fell asleep? I could fall asleep easier reading text or something. I don't know. Do they custom size it? It's not. No, it's not custom size. 200 British back from the main area of the virus, but they are going to a military base for quarantine. Dear. You're having oral surgery in the morning. You broke a tooth in such a way that it can't be saved. New tooth in a few months. Oh, good luck with that, Miss Mary. Maybe he needs help to talk with someone. You can talk with someone. I know you're not alone. I mean, your doctor, professional. Do they custom? No, no, you just order the chair. It's adjustable. I mean, you have adjustments on it. Yeah, you can make adjustments. I'm going nuts looking at this delay. It's driving me crazy. I can't. I know tomorrow I'm going to be like, why am I looking there? Because I don't want to look at the screen. How did you break it? What did Miss Mary break? Miss Mary, oh, the tooth. What is different? What do you mean with the chair? Oh, it's got a lot of support features, lumbar support. I think. Let's see. I can't remember if I have the one with the massagers in it. Oh, the delay. See what I mean? Because at zero, let's say you're looking at yourself and you say something, but your mouth is not moving and you're not at all. It's weird. It's really bizarre. So to look at the chat, then I try not to look at that. So I've got to look away. I thought you meant the chair. Now I'm wondering. Oh, because of my Streamlabs would not hook up. It said that YouTube at 3 o'clock in the morning, it says my Streamlabs will work. It's something about the API was overloaded at YouTube or something. I don't know. I've never had that happen in my life. So I had to listen to what Ben from Cab 7 said, just go on Zoom and stream it, which I didn't even think that I could do, which is really weird in the first place. But I think I don't remember what the problem was. That the big problem I had, that when I tried to do, let's see what happened. I remember I went to use my markers and I couldn't do it until I got the Streamlabs, and that was the whole thing. I just want to see if that's still the case. Maybe they changed something. So I'm going to hit share, and then I'm going to hit whiteboard. You guys remember this? And then Jimmy said, well, just don't use your markers. And I said, I want to. Now, let me see if you can see the whiteboard. Should be changing over for you. But then remember when I went to draw with the markers, it marked up my face, remember? Let's see if it still does that. I see there's a delay. So you can't even see. Now you're going to start seeing me drawing lines, circles. I'm just going around and around. So I don't understand. Do you remember last year and it made stuff all over my face? It's not doing that now. I don't understand what happened. They must have changed something, because that's the reason I had to get, maybe that's the reason I had to get 2 monitors. Maybe you can only do it on 2 monitors. But then why did I need Streamlabs? That's what I don't understand why I needed Streamlabs if you could just do it with Zoom. I don't really understand anymore. I don't even remember what the problem was. I should go back and watch the video. I think it was when you're using just 1 monitor. I'm not sure. No, I'm just making random things. I don't know. I just kind of, she was in a strange, okay, anyway. But the delay is driving me crazy, because now I just erased everything and you're still seeing crap up there. Yeah, I don't know why I did it, Sarah. There was a reason. There was something so crazy. I think it was when I had one monitor or something. I don't know. I can't even remember now. I just know that it was marking up my face. Remember? And Jimmy said, well, just don't use the markers. And I said, I have to have them. I can draw better than that. Montana Sky, what if I couldn't? You would be very insulting to me and I would cry and stuff. You were asking about the screen share. I did learn how to do the mirror. Is that what you remember that? But I don't know how I was getting the stuff on my face. Remember, I had those lines that were on my face. I was drawing. You're like, no, Carolyn, you're just drawing stuff on your face. I don't know. I don't remember what. And then the lady at Zoom was telling me I needed like this webinar stuff for like hundreds and hundreds of dollars a month. And I don't even understand. We should play Pictionary. I could screen share my phone. I needed to share something there. Yeah, I don't know. Make myself big again. Okay. Am I big? Oh, I have to stop sharing. Okay. Am I back? I'm back, right? I think I'm back. Remember, you had some real and genuine friends here, Steve. You better not build a shed. You'll be paying for warehouses. Well, I have two sheds going. One is out on the thing, and the other one's got to get off over there. I probably will. That'll probably go up, but put an indoor swimming pool in and a movie theater up on top, and you're good. So you went from Zoom. No, I usually use Zoom with Streamlabs. Streamlabs wouldn't work, so I'm Zoom direct to YouTube. I'm in Zoom. IKEA has the worst website. Why do you say that, Noreen? In what way is it the worst? Jelly Bean. I thought the rabbit last name. Oh, is Jelly Bean here? Oh, did I call you Jelly Bean? Don't worry about it, because I'm telling you, I was all discombobulated today. Was that your wreath? Oh, that's a very nice wreath. I know that Jelly Bean had one like that and she was there, and I just assumed, and you know what happens when you assume. I didn't even see any name. I just saw the wreath and I said that like jelly beans. Sorry. 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 I stand corrected. Weird with the chat. The chat is weird. Something's weird with the chat. I don't know. Easter jelly beans. No, we do have a jelly beans that makes wreaths in there. I need to make sure she knows. Okay, so you're going to do a wreath tutorial? Are you going to do one? Because we need a wreath tutorial. Thanks, Matt. One of my daughter's sister-in-laws couldn't have kids, so they always keep them overnight. Is Steve getting back together? Are you getting back together with her, Steve? What is Diana saying? Wait a day? You're in Zoom, not Streamlabs, and you're not freezing. I don't know, but I'm looking really weird. Like, I don't know where to, like, it's something's, it's just not, it's not right. It doesn't feel right at all without Streamlabs. I don't know what the thing about, I guess no one can stream in Streamlabs tonight, not until it's, they said after midnight on Pacific Standard Time we can. That YouTube made its quota or something. I don't know what the heck it is all about. Probably some kind of scam. Somebody said buffering before, though, at Sierra. Fotis did not die yet, but I don't think it's looking good for Fotis. Fotis. You're like Jimmy with the Fotis. I always use Zoom, but I use it with Streamlabs. Oh, somebody was saying before, they're like, oh, buffering. Oh, the vote was Jeannie, but then she said it was her internet, but I thought somebody else said it. I don't know. The toughest time, the days after the split, you must keep the faith that things will get better. Yeah, it gets bad, Steve. Breakups are, get some ice cream. Oh, it was only buffering for the one person? Okay. All right. All right. No, that was our internet, not you. Oh, okay, because you were scaring me. You're like, it's buffering, it's buffering. Nobody else has anything to add? Like, I don't know, like Cab 7's like, you could just take a call and like, well, where would the caller go? He's like, it's the same thing. You haven't seen me buffer at all, Mrs. So hungry. I'm getting really hungry. One day at a time, Steve. Try it. Have a caller. Who wants a call? Avocado toast? What is that? You just put avocado on toast? You're eating a chocolate donut. I need a test caller. Hey, Potter. Oh, fried potatoes with mushrooms. How does Steve call in from Australia? Steve is in Australia? Oh, I didn't know Steve was in Australia. You want to call in, Steve? He calls in the same way. We have people from Australia call in. I have numbers for Australia. You want to call in, Steve? You can go right through the website. Spicy shrimp. You've been getting HelloFresh and you're so happy with it. The energy is really low here. Thanks for noticing, Potter. No, I think everybody's got a case of the winter blahs. the winter blahs and the taxes are due, and that's about it. And the news has been horrible. It's your trifecta. Steve would have to email Carolyn. I did, did Cab 7 ever get the, I was at Cab 7's live stream earlier today where he had Brother John, who needed a new epilepsy helmet. And so I donated to his PayPal, and then I was tweeting it out. And then Cab 7, he said he was going to stay on till all the money was there. Did anybody find out if the guy got the money for the helmet? Because he was up to like 300 something when I had to sign off. Does anybody know if he made it? He had to have 560. Anybody? You think they got it, Kevin? Yeah, you can call in from New Zealand. You just have to send me an email. You don't know, you didn't see that? Okay. All right, he did? Oh, good. Good. Detoxes and detoxes. That, and we're tired of all the damn drama everywhere. Yep. I don't know how people have energy for that freaking drama all the time. Sucks the life out of you. It does. It sucks the absolute life out of you. Bad thing is no vaccine, immune issues, 2 weeks incubation. Eek. Avocado with lemon and salt is so good. I see the circles. Oh, you're behind in the chat, Karen, then. See if they don't reach the total. I think Cab 7 puts up the remainder. He's such a sweetheart. No, but he put in stuff and we were waiting. He was really upset the other day. It's exhausting, Diana. It sucks your life. Yep, Potter. You're coming back now, Kylie? You can't bring yourself, Belinda, to watch it? You're not missing too much at all. You guys keep talking about food and I'm going crazy. Yeah, I never saw him like that either. I mean, he was really upset. He was pissed. Get something. I'm trying to think about what I would eat, you know. I mean, that's the thing. You don't understand. It's like this whole month I went out like one time, and then when I went to ShopRite, I got some stuff, and then Jimmy and I or whatever, we just been running to like the local grocery store for like the bare essentials, because it's like, I don't know what's wrong with us. Like, I think it's just this January blahs. Yeah. Joyce, no, we do eat good food, but we've just been going like on a day-to-day basis to the grocery store. So I mean, it's like, I'm telling you, it's like, I just think about same. Yeah. So literally be like, what are you going to have tonight? Then we'll go and get it for that night, and just like not do these like huge shoppings like we used to do with all the, it's like, I'm telling you, it's crazy. Who has two sleeps? Two sleeps to what? A bakery donut? Oh, two sleeps to what? Till February? Yeah, Potter probably, yeah, probably has something to do with that as well. Yeah, that's how yeah, I feel like that. I feel like so exhausted. Like, just like, I don't feel like going out and doing that. That's what I'm saying. I'm like this big homebody now. Like, oh, Michael's has those, but I don't feel that. But that would take me to get in the car, and I have to drive. Then I have to get out of the car, go into the store. Then I have to get a cart, put stuff in the cart, and go to the checkout. Then I have to take the stuff, load it back in the car, and drive all the way home. It's like, it's okay. That's how you feel too, Carla? Like, do I really need anything that bad in there? Not much. I could probably get it on Amazon, whatever I really need. Yeah, right. And then, yeah, bringing everything in, and oh my gosh. Yeah, Luke keeps saying, Luke thinks we need a vacation too. When are we going to Florida? You'd hibernate in the winter if Huppy would let you. You have one eye open. I call those, I don't want to get out of my pajama. Like, Jimmy, unless you want to go to the grocery store, I'm like, no, I don't really want to go. You can go. You're all good. Like, I went out the other day. They came with me, but like I to go to get the stuff for the decoupage, the glass stuff. But even when I went in ShopRite, I was just like, all right, I'm gonna get this, that. I walked around, I got some stuff. Wake you up in late spring? It was never snows. Maybe it's not even the snow. It's just, yeah, yeah. That's exactly how describe it, right? I don't know. A case of the And even like shopping, like I've had, like someone said about the IKEA, like I've looked for like the stuff for downstairs for like the to get yeah. Yeah, maybe later. You're gonna go see Waitress with Sarah? Oh yeah. Oh, good. Yeah, but like Rhonda, I used to like to go like out, or like now it's like even if like I pay more, like I'm like, well, if I went out, it'd be, I guess, my time. All right, I'll get that. Just have it come to the house. You feel like the thrill is gone? Well, your name, she gave up. That kind of says it, right? Yeah. I don't know. It's like, I don't want to depress anybody because I'm just going to depress people, but it just seems like everybody is like, I don't know. It's like I'm having, like I told you before, like I have a lot of those like death thoughts and stuff at night. And I don't know. It's just like, and then everybody dying this month, and it's last month, and it's crazy. And it almost feels like, yeah, I don't want to get anybody depressed if you're not depressed, but that's kind of how it feels. We're all in a winter funk. I guess it's time to say, hit the hay. Okay. Who cares, right? Yeah. So, I mean, I do sleep after live streams, but a lot of times, like, that's the worst time for me, which is probably why I became an insomniac. And I've said this for the last actually 10 years. Like, I heard someone say something about, like, really 10 years constantly before, right when I'm going to bed, do I go through like the death stuff? It's horrible. It's horrible. And I remember telling a friend about it back then, like 10 years ago. And she's like, oh, she was older than me. Like, I'm trying to think. She was probably like 14, 15 years older than me. And she was like, oh, yeah, I had that too at your age. And I'm like, it goes away? And she's like, oh, yeah, it goes away. Yeah. It stayed for a while. It goes away. And I'm like, oh, okay. So it's just a phase. But now this phase is hitting like 10 years. Okay. So I'm like, what the freak? Congratulations. What happened to Carla? What are we congratulating Carla on? I got to see. I missed it. Oh my gosh. You just had a granddaughter at 120? Well, that's something to be happy about, Carla. Wow, that's great news. Yay. Were you at the hospital or are you home waiting? Is it your son or your daughter? Oh my gosh, I didn't know you were expecting. You didn't even say she was in labor or anything. Oh my gosh. You're 56 and it hasn't gone away? The insomnia or the it's your son's wife? Are they close to you? Are you going to be able to go see the baby? I think a lot of us are in the same boat. Really? We should talk about it sometimes because it sometimes feels like crazy or alone with it. It's just starting for you, the death stuff? I know that it's true because I looked it up on Google when it started happening. And they're like, well, watch something funny, watch something this, watch something that. Oh, they live in your neighborhood. Does she have a name yet? For 15 years? You're fine now? Okay, Diana. It's not so much the insomnia. It's just the thoughts. Carolyn is gone? No, I'm right here. You don't see me? I'm right here, Gigi. Oh, you don't know the name yet? You worked at a company by a narcopath. Changed everything on the stress level. Yeah, let's talk about it. Yeah, I used to work at a company like that. I used to get a twitch in my eye when they brought the HO pen statements out to me to balance. You have no connection? Does everybody else have a connection? Gigi's scaring me. Gigi is scaring me. Your twin sister passed away in January. It's a tough month. We started planning a trip to Arizona every year. The sunshine helps. Yeah, the sunshine definitely helps, Jenna. Yeah. All good. We can talk about it, and anyone who needs someone to talk about it can always email me, just holding out a hand to anyone. Oh, that's nice, Stephanie. You're good. Thanks, Mrs. Roger Rabbit. You get, yeah, I get eye twitches when I get really stressed out of my head. Then I have my eye twitches. Clarice, everyone's been asking European to marry you. Play music for pick me up. Yeah, but then something, it is, music's good, but then sometimes like you'll hear a certain song and then it reminds you how quickly, like I sometimes it could work the opposite way too, right? Yeah. Is it the not so much the eye twitch, but yeah, I don't know. I think about it all the time. But really, I know it's nuts. It's really hard for me to watch award shows. I told you, because you see the people are so old, and then you're like, oh my gosh, life is so fast. We're all gonna die. It's all over. It's done. We're finished. Our lives are gone. Like I get like that. It's like, yeah, right. I know, craziness. Petting your cat. I think some of that is that halfway mark. You started with night terrors centered around death when you were a little kid. Yeah, I have probably thought about death a lot, even a lot earlier, but really like 10 years ago. And my friend who's a psychologist, she's like, oh, it's because you lost both of your parents so quickly, and that then that's what it is what she tells me. She thinks like that I'm crazy, that I can't figure that out. That's what it is. CBD, do you mean? Or cognitive behavioral therapy, you mean? You have to distract yourself when you start stressing about what then you start stressing about what you. Oh, okay. And you have to go, oh, I see. Just get yourself right out of it. See, my resolution mind, like I always try to rationalize everything, and you can't. But my mind tries to keep rationalizing it instead of just getting right off of it. I know you just get right off of it. You're not going to be able to rationalize anything. It really implied my own. Yeah, that's what I do. It's Sierra. That's exactly what I do. And all of my siblings are older than me, and a couple of them don't understand it. Like they say, oh my gosh, you're the youngest. You have all of us, like literally, to say, oh, they're probably all going to go first. Why are you so stressed about it now? And they say they're not. Like the one said he's not. My sister says like she's not so much either. My one brother, yes. Like I don't know. It's weird that you would think they would all have it, but they don't. I don't know. It's kind of the same thing there. Am I afraid of death? Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I don't, it's just not even afraid. Also, like you worry about, especially I have little kids, and stuff like that. hope I can't really see colors again. Y2K now 20. Yeah, I know, right? Y2K, and everything was supposed to go haywire and it didn't. Hey, this is Stephanie's mom is so normal, guys, at least in my world, using her text voice. Hey, this is Stephanie's mom is so normal, guys, at least in my world. I try not to think about, yeah. Yeah, Nana Patty. You too. Okay. How do we overcome that fear? What kind of what are they taking? CBD oil? You're taking CBD oil? What are you doing? It makes you not worry? You're suicidal, but you're also scared of death, so it's a continual weird feeling. You think maybe it's also because of the content you cover? No, no. I don't think it has anything to do with that. As crazy as that sounds, I don't think so. You do the CBD oil, you also do gummies. Hi, Amanda. Oh, you give it to your dog? I don't think it's exactly the same. You watch kitten channels? Oh, I do other things, Potter. I don't just sit and look at true crime all day. But use pain cream with CBD on your hands. I'm less anxious about death when I have my mind focused on a case. I worry about leaving my girls because my mom died. Yeah, that's hard too. Yeah, that stuff. Yeah. Oh, thanks, Dawn. He's a Maltese. He barks. CB, maybe I should get some for Sassy and her dreams. Yeah, she gave up. And I think that's too, like when you look back and you're like, you thought you had all the time in the world, like when my first, like, cause I feel like I have two sets of kids, right? Because, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that went so fast. And like all these projects that you never did, all these things that you never did. And then you're like, all this stuff that you have, and you're like, am I ever going to do it? Like, I don't know. It just seems like time goes so fast. How do you ever get the time to do it? I don't know. That gets depressing. But then, I mean, there's people buying new houses at 80 and they live to, I don't know. Sometimes I don't know. It's, Right, Kevin, I know, yeah. Your inbox will always be full. That's exactly it. She gave up. Yeah, Patty, I know. I don't think you were, I don't, it's fine. You have to work out or something. Yeah, that's what it's nice at Sierra. Like if I get on my bike, you know, but now it's like just so cold, right? That's so nice about when it's warm and you can go swimming and you can get on your bike and you do stuff like that. It's a, that's a, yeah, it's a case of the winter blahs. It's like terrible for that stuff, right? And then especially if you have a January where there's just like you're bombarded, and like right before January, you know, you had Jeff dying, and then it's like it's crazy, right? And then right into January where it's just oh, do I wish I could start over? I don't know. I mean, in some like right now, I don't feel like I would have the the energy to go through, you know, infants again. I don't feel like that because like right now I'm just like, you know, but you know, what is it going to be to start over? Like, I don't know. It seems exhausting to think that. I just wish like it would slow down a little bit, maybe, but not like not stuck in the winter. But like slow down a minute. Like we wouldn't. The years are just flying by and everything. Like it just, I don't know. Yeah, why is time going so fast? Like when you're in your 20s, sometimes you think you're going to stay that way like forever. Like it seems like so long you're going to be like that. You're always going to be like that. And then it doesn't, you get older and things happen. And then it's like, yeah, I don't know. And then I think it's a big thing when your parents die, because if you could always look to your, oh, my parents are still here, but then they're not. It gets faster and faster and faster. Yeah, it's like you're on, get me off this machine. Yeah, slow it down. Jeff, because yeah, absolutely. But their idea as well. Yeah, but I don't do everything my crazy life. I don't. There's so many projects that I have to do. I know, Kevin. It's crazy. Mm-hmm. All right. Thanks, Allison. In the chat later, then it's moving. I don't know. My chat is on. It feels like that's on its own. It helps when you have support. So we all have them. I'm over here trying to wrangle my kids, buying supplies for projects, and growing vegetables. Yeah, but I have a lot of projects that never get done. And I think of like Jimmy and I have been trying like to finish the same thing down in the basement for like the last 13 years. I mean, it's crazy, right? 13 freaking years. I've been talking about the same dang thing. Gunson basket. Yeah, Sassy. Oh, sure, Sonny. You want to call in? Okay. Um, I hope I have the right. It begins with T, right? Yes, I got it. Okay. While you're calling in, Sunny, I'm just going to see. I'm going to try to check for something to eat. I'll be right back. You can come on in and I'll hear you. I'm just going to try to see if there's anything. I've got to get back to the chat because everything is different. Okay, I'll be right back. I mean, I'm right here. You know what I am. I'm not in. I'm on the other side of the kitchen, not live. I'm still here. Is that you, Sunny, right? I think so.
Yes.
Oh, okay. You can start talking. I'm just over here getting something.
Oh, okay. Hi, everybody. Sorry it's been so long. I was almost asleep after I stuffed my face, and I heard you guys bring up the topic of everybody having anxiety about death. And I just wanted to share my experience, and it might help somebody, I hope. When I was 15 years old, I started volunteering in a nursing home that they built near my home. And it was my first experience head on with death. A lady was in her 90s, and I was sitting on the side of her bed, spoon feeding her some broth, and her daughter was there getting ready to check her out and take her home. She was going to be released. She was healthy. And we were talking and laughing about what she was going to do when she got home, what kind of orneriness she was going to get into. And I really liked this lady. And I told her, oh, I'll feed you one more time before you go home. Then you're on your own, let me spoil you while you're here. So I'm like 1 foot away from her face, and she's talking 1 minute, and I gave her like half a spoonful of broth. And then I looked over, and her eyes rolled back in her head, and she started foaming at the mouth. And I could tell she wasn't even breathing. And her daughter was sitting straight across from me. And at 15 years of age, I had the presence of mind to lower her bed. I pushed the button for the nurse, the emergency button, and then I lowered her bed flat so that they could, if they were going to do CPR, whatever they were going to do, I don't know. That's all I could think of. Get ready for the nursing staff to get here. And then I escorted her daughter out of the room, and we went to a little room and talked. And I told her it didn't look good, with her mother's age and everything, that sometimes it's a blessing for people to, pass that quickly. And we were laughing and happy. And, if that's the way it turned out, that, maybe it would be a good idea to look at that and say, wow, it sure could have been a lot worse. And anyway, I was really strong. I tend to do that in emergency situations. I get really calm. And so afterwards, though, I went home and I was just really deep in thought, because it was the first person I had ever seen die. And so I started reading everything I could get my hands on about the dying process, the physical process that the body goes through, the things that a person goes through mentally and emotionally when they're actually in the dying process. Then I started studying people's near death experiences. And then now that we have the internet and YouTube, you can actually watch on YouTube people who are terminally ill in states where it is legal. Their doctors will prescribe a lethal dosage of whatever medication they use. And a lot of people choose to have all their friends over and have a big party. And then toward the end of the evening or whatever, they give everybody a kiss and tell them, you know, I love you guys. It's been a great life and I really appreciate it. And they drink their little cocktail the doctor made up for them and they go to sleep, and it's that easy. I'm 68 years old. I just got back um, from going back to Ohio and sitting with my nephew while he died of pancreatic cancer. And I have the nickname in my circle of friends of the Death Angel because I used to run around with a huge group of friends. There were like 18 of us. And over the years, it seems like whenever somebody's dying, everybody's a friend until somebody's dying, and then they kind of disappear because they don't know how to deal with it. And because I went through what I did when I was young, and because I studied it so much, I have a little bit of a different understanding about the death process, and that it's actually just a transition from this plane of existence to another plane of existence. It's like not the end of everything. Some people may believe it is, and that's your right. I'm not challenging that in any way. Everybody has disbeliefs, and I don't know if there's a heaven or not. I'm a Christian, but I mean, who knows really? But I can tell you, my nephew was the 12th person that I have sat with intentionally while they passed away. And the death process actually kind of follows a pattern. Not everybody will have every single symptom, but they have, it's very common for them to see a bright, warm light. And the closer they get to death, the closer it gets to them, and they feel drawn to it. And it's a very comforting, peaceful feeling. The people that I've been able to communicate with when they're close to death have just enlightened me in a way that when I was 15, after I went home, I was like, oh my God, I'm 15 and I'm scared to death of death. You know, I need to find out more about this. And when I learned about it, and then I have sat with so many people and watched them experience the same things, the warm light that they just feel drawn to. And sometimes there's hands reaching through the light, reaching for them. And it's like their parents or their grandparents or their child, somebody meaningful that has died before them. And it's amazing to, I was making sure there's volume on here. It's amazing the commonalities. One thing that people do toward the end is they'll kind of reach in the air or they'll pick at their blankets. And if I saw, and with my nephew and with many other people I've worked with, when they're reaching, a lot of times they'll smile. Or my nephew sat there a couple times and we thought he was in a coma, you know, and he'd sit there and he'd get this smile and he'd go, oh, awesome. Oh my God, that's beautiful. And I would say, I would be laying next to him. I'd say, Andy, what do you see? Tell me what you see. Oh, you won't believe. It's so beautiful. It's just beautiful. And over experiencing this with so many people. I just don't think death is something to be afraid of. One day when he was kind of with it, he opened his eyes real fast and he looked around the room and he looked at me and he said, "Oh my gosh." And I said, "What, Andy? Tell me what you see." And he says, "I can see through stuff. I can see through furniture. I can see through walls. I can see everything that's going on everywhere. Gee, it's awesome." And then he was back out again. But he had some moments of clarity in there that what I truly, truly believe, because it's not the first time I've heard any of these things. It's not even the second time I've heard these things from people who are in the active dying process. The actual process, if somebody is mentally, emotionally, and spiritually prepared and they know the end is coming, can be as beautiful as a birth. You're literally leaving this plane of existence and being born into, it must be a beautiful place from everything that I've read, everything that I've seen on YouTube, and everything that I've experienced with the people that I've gone through this with. And I would just encourage anybody that has a real fear of death, study it, get into it. Helen Kubler-Ross has some excellent books. And those were from way back when I was trying to get educated on the topic. But now there's just so many YouTube videos on the dying process. And once you get into it, I don't know. Like I said, I have the nickname in my circle of friends of being the angel of death. If you're going to die, I'm the person you want next to you, because I make sure that those mental and emotional and spiritual needs are met. I pray with the person. I ask them if there's anybody they need to say anything to. I talk about the hard stuff. I walk in and say, "Hey, what music would you like to have played at your funeral?" And people are so relieved. It's like, "Oh my God, it's okay for me to talk about this." Everybody pretends like there's nothing wrong with me, or I'm going to get well, or whatever. And they know they're dying and they want to talk about it. They really do. And if you let them open up to you, they will share as much of the experience as they can with you. And it'll make that fear of yours go away in a heartbeat. So anyway, I guess that's all I have. I just would really encourage anybody that has a fear in that direction to study the actual process, because it is fascinating. And it is a beautiful thing. It's just like a birth. It really is. The only thing that I won't go to funerals, because when I sit those last days or weeks or hours with somebody who's getting ready to transition, I don't I don't even call it death, because I believe it's only the beginning of something way bigger than what we're experiencing on this plane of existence. Um, I've seen it in their eyes. I had one friend that was very spiritual, and he had this big window over the head of his bed. And I went there and he had been vomiting blood all day, and people had been in and out and in and out. And they're like, "Oh man, he's been suffering so bad today." And I just crawled up in bed next to him and put my arm around him. And I pulled back the curtain on the big window at the head of his bed. And I said, "Larry, there's a full moon tonight. It is a beautiful night for traveling." And I said, "Just look up at the moon one time. And you're always telling people, let go, let God, and I'm going to turn that on you. Just look up in the moon, let go and let God, and your pain will be over. This whole nightmare will be over. Just melt into the light." He literally took one breath There were 4 other people in the room with me watching this. He took one breath and we all stood there and waited. They stood, I was laying next to him, but they stood there and watched. And when he didn't take another breath, all 5 of us, like in unison, we just started laughing. I was like, he did it. He did it. Oh my God. He literally just went into the light. It's over. He's done suffering. The only thing I don't like about going to funerals is after my job is complete and I successfully get somebody comfortably over to the other side, I hate to go to a big gathering of their friends and loved ones and see everybody crying, because I worked so hard to get this person comfortably and happily and successfully transitioned. And I don't know, I understand the loss and the feeling of loss. I won't say that I haven't cried since I lost my nephew. I have, but maybe it's because the funeral is usually too soon after what I consider a victory when they actually make it smoothly. Anyway, that's my story and I'm sticking to it.
Okay.
It's good to talk to you guys again.
Yeah, good to talk to you. Sorry about your loss of your nephew.
Thank you. Yeah, it's been a really hectic couple of months for me. And when I was back there, I was on the same time zone as you. And I was going to bed at like 8:30 because I was exhausted. So
Right.
I never got to even hear you one time. But now that I'm home, it's like, okay, finally, I'm on a different time zone and I'm not so bushed every day that I'm dying, but I missed all of you. And still hanging in here. Sorry. So sorry to hear about some of the stuff that has happened. Jeez.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy.
Crazy.
Yeah.
I can't even believe it. Gee, those people need to get a life. There's so much more to life.
I know.
And this life is so darn short. We need to
I know, and that's why, yeah, I hate that. Like even my summer, like so much stuff was sucked out, and the energy have to be spent on crap. That's what I'm saying. It's drama just is ridiculous.
Yeah. I've just made a rule in my life. I don't do drama. I
Yeah,
had
well,
to.
drama does me sometimes. Like I mean, it just, like somebody wants to just bring you drama that you
Yeah.
don't need, and it's like ridiculous.
It'll get me briefly, but I won't stay in it. Jeff and I broke up,
Oh,
and
you
I
did?
I bought into the drama for about half an hour. I got really pissed, and it really takes a lot to get me riled. Really a lot, but he did it, and right at the time. I mean, he did it right when I got home from losing my nephew, and I was like, you take somebody that's already physically exhausted, emotionally drained. I was fine spiritually, but every other way, I was just completely spent. And he had to have temper tantrums. And I was like, oh my God, some people just have to be the center of attention. And I can't deal with that. I was like, I have had enough drama with all the family interactions and all the crap back there. I just don't need this. And I walked, and I'm not going back. I just,
Good for you.
I can't do that. I can't do that. He was a nice person, but I can't do that.
Right.
So I'm moving on down the road. And anyway, you guys.
Thanks for calling. It's good to hear from you. And Sassy would like to contact you personally. Is it okay if I give her your email?
Absolutely. Please do.
Okay.
And also, I was going to tell you, I was listening in last night. I worked on the suicide hotline here in Yuma for about 8 years. And so if anytime that you get calls like that somebody needs somebody to talk to one-on-one, do not hesitate to give them my phone number. And I'm not scared if they want to try to bring garbage in my life. Hey, whatever. If I can help one person and 3 people swap me, it's still okay. I mean,
Okay.
It's pretty hard to ruffle my feathers. So I just wanted you to know that too, that I also do. I used to do outreach working. I started at the clinic as a hotline worker, volunteering in my spare time in the evenings. And then I was so effective that they started using me. They put me on the payroll and started sending me out to people's homes when they were suicidal. And I would actually, hands on be able to sit down and talk to them and hopefully either get them calmed down or take them to the hospital for help. So um, it's another thing that I do. I think I'll sit down and make a list of stuff. I'm like a jack of all trades, I guess.
Yeah. Sounds like
Anyway, if there's ever any way I can help, please don't hesitate to give out my phone number or call me. Okay.
all right. Thanks so very much.
Thank you so much,
Talk to you
Carolyn.
soon. Glad that you're home, and I'm again sorry about your nephew.
Thank you, honey. And thank you so much. It just felt so good to get home and turn on my TV and go, oh my God, the Ramblers are still there.
Ramblers are still there.
There's sanity in the world. Well, then I found out it was insane, but
Then you,
yeah.
The insane stuff that happened. Yeah, right. Yeah.
Gosh, yeah, it was like right after you got swatted. I came home and I was like, what? And I kept
definitely
going back and forth on the internet going, is this for, oh my gosh.
I know. Yeah, I'm crazy.
Then when you felt that you had to justify that you didn't make up that.
And then they still, some of them are saying it. So, you never get, that's what I'm saying. You're never going to convince anyone that doesn't want to believe, so, but it's it's crazy.
You don't even owe him an explanation, that's what it comes down to. It's like, hey, here's what happened. If you don't want to believe it, there's the door,
Right, yeah.
I have no patience for that. I just don't. Anyway, I love you dearly.
All right, love you too.
I've been with you over a year now.
I know.
Way over a year.
I know.
I see a lot of new faces. I just want to tell everybody hi, and I'm going to quit hogging the phone and let you go.
That's okay. All right. Thanks for calling.
Talk to you soon. Okay.
Right, bye-bye.
I think you have to pop me off. I don't know how to.
I have to talk. I have to.
Oh, wait. I don't know. Here, let's see. It doesn't have a. Oh, here it is. Wait a minute. Disconnect. Here we go. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye. Oh, so, Patty, but you have class and did not get in the muck with them. No, I don't want to get in the muck. Thanks. So that's super for you. And that's how you found me, Patty, through the drama. Oh, okay. I think a few people did find it through the drama. That's okay. All right. Well, I think I'm going to call it a night because I think we're going to have like stuff happening tomorrow with Daybells and Dulos and Dulos and I don't know, and other stuff. But everybody go watch something good on Netflix. What are you going to watch on Netflix? I'm going to go watch something on Netflix and go to sleep. Sometimes a comedy. Sometimes the comedy is good. But thank you all for coming. Thank you to our moderators. Thank you guys. God bless. Don't stress. We're going into February. It's going to be spring. Things are going to get better. All right. Take care. Love you guys. Everybody, prayers for everybody that needs them, and take care. And we'll hopefully have the Streamlabs back up tomorrow. I don't know how do I get out of here? Got to move that. I can't even see. Oh, here we go.